Welcome back. It's another episode of If I Die Tomorrow. I'm your host, Nicole, and I am really glad that you joined me again today. I wanted to tell you I completed the challenge last week. I actually wrote a letter of apology. And I will tell you, making sure that you own it with no buts, no, comparisons, no, it just straight out own it. It wasn't as difficult as I thought it would be. It was more a lesson of humility and a gift of peace and an honest review of myself and my behavior. And I will say I was lucky enough for the person to be honest with me and accept my apology. I hope that the challenge for you went well. I would love to see how it went. I would love to see your comments and have a conversation. These exercises or challenges or calls to action, whatever you would like to call it, really does put the question of if I die tomorrow in a lesson in life that is not easily forgotten. And I'm so glad that you're on this journey with me. I am very proud of where we are from where we've come from, because we have come a long way. And I'm so glad that you're on this journey with me. This week we're actually we're hitting another one. This one is titled The Eulogy of Your Choices. Yeah, kind of depressing. But not really. I mean, once again, it makes you stop and think. It's a terrifying but necessary question for how we're gauging our life and where we're going and if we're proud of it and what we can do before it's too late. And so I would like you to ask for you to do a little bit of reflection and use the question, does your life pass the final review? As we explore the eulogy of your choices, the words your loved ones would speak about you at your funeral is how I want you to base this off of. In this episode, we're going to explore a powerful exercise on defining your legacy while you still have time to write it. And we're going to challenge you to define your core three. And your core three is for your values. Kindness, courage, creativity, those core values that mean a lot to you and that you want others to see in you and would be words that you would like to be spoken about you at your funeral. I know that conducting an audit of your life can sound overwhelming and mean. I promise you this is not to be mean, but it is to call and draw some attention to some of your core three and some of the behaviors that you project every single day. And some of the projections you don't want that you didn't realize you were projecting. We're going to just jump right into it. I mean, I really kind of gave you a really good description of what you're going to get today. So let's do this. Have you ever actually given a eulogy? Have you ever written a eulogy? I have. I did for my dad. I thought it would be really hard for me to do that. But it actually, emotionally, yes, it was difficult and it was a lot. But I wouldn't have not wanted to do it. Um, and I thought it'd be really hard to write it, but it wasn't. It was as if everything I ever wanted to say about my dad or have people understand about my dad just flowed through me. And it was a lot easier. I think it actually took me maybe 10 or 15 minutes tops to write it. My dad was no saint. He did a lot of things, good and bad. And I wanted people to understand that he was more than those good and bad things. And that he taught me a lot. And so I'm grateful that I was able to do that. And I was grateful that it flowed through me. And no, I'm not going to ask for your call of action this week for you to write your own eulogy. But it's not that bad of an idea. I will ask you this, though. What do you hope your family and friends would say about you when you're gone? I mean, have you ever thought about if you were able to just sit in the back of the room for your own funeral? I don't know if I'd like that. But I wouldn't want anybody to lie about me either. As we start to do this reflection, I'd really like you to, as you're thinking about what you hope someone would say, like, you're a kind listener, or you're courageous, or you stand up for those that have no voice. Thinking those things, I want you to look back over the last week in your calendar or on your to-do lists or anywhere that you kind of keep what you've done, a record, a log. And I want you to see if what you had in that last week actually lines up with what you hope someone says. So if somebody said, that you were a kind listener, does any of your time reflect that time that you gave somebody to be a kind listener? Or that you stood up for someone without as big of a voice as you have? I mean, is any of that reflected in what you've done, where you went, who you spoke to, any interactions that you had? The gap between the two is the space of disappointment that we need to close. A great eulogy isn't about accomplishments. It's about character. If you die tomorrow, what are the 3 words you want people to use to define you? I know we're supposed to be so much more, and we really are. But when people are talking about us or to give a eulogy, what 3 things would you really like them to say that would kind of sum you up in a pretty package with a nice bow? These are your core 3. Is it patience, generosity, and resilience? Is it curiosity, honesty, and humor? Your core 3 should be the lens through which Every major choice you make is filtered. Everything else is secondary. And now that you know what the core 3 is, we're going to do a eulogy audit. I know. We need to identify the things that betray your core 3. Let's look for the 3 biggest time sinks. The activities, relationships, or habits that actively work against your desired eulogy. If your core value is patience, how did you actually show that? If your core value is presence, but you spend 3 hours scrolling mindlessly every night, scrolling is a time sink. If your core value is courage, but you consistently say yes to things you despise out of fear of conflict, your fear is the time sink. If your core value is generosity, but you spend all of your money on frivolous things and have nothing left to give, your spending is a time sink. Now, generosity is not just spending money, it's also spending time. So look at it as that, because guess what? We're all humans and we all do frivolous things from time to time with our money. So I'm just putting that out there right now. The Eulogy of Your Choices is written by your daily calendar, your bank account, your soul account. Where you spend your time and your money is what truly matters. Now, if we're going to pull in our core 3 and we're doing an audit of our time in our life, we're going to use all of that. We're going to put it all together as to script our legacy. You don't have to wait until the end to write your eulogy. You can write it today by making small changes. Pick one of your time sinks and commit to giving the reclaimed time to one of your core 3 values. Example. Time sink. Complaining about life. And you do it every day. 30 minutes. Let's just 30 minutes you spend throughout your day complaining. Okay? That's a time sink. You're wasting time. When, let's see, say your value, one of your core values is actually kindness. So instead of spending 30 minutes throughout your day complaining, why don't you take that 30 minutes and write a thank you note or take care of somebody's chore or do an act of kindness. And now you're living within one of your core values of kindness. And it certainly feels a lot better than spending 30 minutes complaining, because we've all heard it, we've all said it. You know, somebody will say, "How you doing?" Well, it doesn't do me any good to complain. Huh. Take that with you. It's the truth. If I die tomorrow, I would like to know that my 3 core values come through every day. It's not easy. Believe me, it's not easy. But I'm going to ask you to do a call of action. Your If I Die Tomorrow task is to define your core 3 values today. Spend some time. Pick your 3. I know I'm usually just 1, but today it's 3. See, 1 wasn't so bad before, was it? Now I got 3. And it's not the only thing. So I'm going to ask you to pick your 3, define your core 3 values. Write them out, print them out, put them on a sticky note, stick them to the fridge, to your sun visor, to your dresser drawer, to your bathroom mirror. I don't care. Take your word, stick it somewhere. Meh. Where you will see it, recognize it, and have it be a cue. We're not sticking anything where the sun don't shine. That is not this podcast. Once you have done that, identify one time sink and one micro action to reclaim that time. Every choice you make today is a sentence in your final eulogy. That hits hard. It is also a sentence in your story and your legacy. Don't let your story be defined by accidental choices. Define it on purpose. Your purpose. When you do this, do it with an open heart that's humbled and honest. This isn't for anybody else, but for you. So don't worry about somebody else seeing it. Also, you might just surprise yourself. Well, that's not a bad thing. I'm grateful for the time that I get to be able to spend and do that. I'm also grateful for the time that I get to spend with you guys. Let me know in the comments how it went, or maybe what some of your values are, or if you're having a hard time with it. Because, sometimes it's like a pop quiz and all of a sudden everything just flies out your brain and you just need to talk about it. I'm here for that. You're not alone in this journey. And I don't ever want you to feel like you're alone. I hope this helps you in some way. I hope it makes you realize some of your choices. I hope you're able to get rid of some of your time sinks. And as always, be kind, be grateful, stay humble.